Hello and welcome to Model Railroading for Dummies, the how-to show for model railroading dummies just like me. Now, last time in our Ballasting Trilogy, I showed you how to ballast a spur for your railroad. Basically, a spur that is not kept up really well, but not an extremely well-worn spur. Maybe one of these days I may have a chance to get to ballast or model a really run-down spur. One that doesn't see much action and hasn't been ballasted for the past 50 years. So, today, let's start working on ballasting the main line. Ballasting a main line will have the best ballast around on a railroad. Unless, of course, it's a really run-down railroad, maybe a short line picked up from a Class 1 railroad that didn't want this branch line anymore, get rid of it. It's a little bit like what happened with the DM&E. The track was so bad. It was bad. But the track is actually pretty good now, except for the section between Pier and Rapid City. But that's not so much due to the fact it's not well maintained. It's because the ground there is not very good. It just eats up ballast like crazy. It's great when it's nice and dry, but man, that stuff's nasty when it gets wet. So without any further ado, let's head over to the layout and start ballasting. Okay, here we are on the main line. So, first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to do a thin layer along the outside edge to try and give it a little bit of tooth and or grip. So, but bead glue along each side here. Take your favorite brush and brush it on. I like to use plenty of glue. Okay, now we got a layer here. Let's take our ballast and put on a layer. This time I'm gonna put my ballast in a little bowl instead of the cap. Put on a little layer here. Don't need a real thick layer, just so you can get a good, nice grip with the ballast. you preferably not want to do it all at once. Kind of want to do it in 2 goes instead of 1. Now for sidings and the like, where you don't have roadbed like this 1 go is plenty good. But where you have actual roadbed like this, you're going to want to do it in layers like this. Have 2 goes. Yeah, I'm also going to put a little bit in the center. Then I'll put a little bit of oh wait a minute, I forgot. I don't have any. So now I was going to put a little bit of scenic cement in here. But I'm out, which means I'm gonna have to mix some more up. Okay, so now while we're here, let's do a little bit here on this runaround / small yard. It's going to be pretty much the same as the siding. Okay, so this is done here. So we're going to wait for this to dry. Once it is dry, then we can come back and finish the main line here. This line here should be good. May need a bright light. One thing to note, with yard tracks, they are not kept near as well clean as the main line. Naturally, the main line gets the main maintenance. So I'm going to have some weeds coming in, some grass and stuff, as if it's been a little while since this yard has been groomed. Let's put it that way. It's been a while since it's been groomed. So they would probably try and keep the bigger weeds down, since they're going to be working around here a lot more. So it's really however you want. A short line or regional would be more likely to have a weedy yard, and a major yard used by a major railroad, or a regional too for that matter. It depends largely on the railroad. I mean, it really depends on the financial abilities of the railroad. The more financially stable the railroad is, the more likely its yards are going to be better kept. So it's really up to your personal taste as to what you prefer for your layout. So I mean, if you're just doing your own rail line, a made-up one, you can have it as a poor, run-down old railroad struggling to make a living, or it can be the best railroad in the country. It's up to you. It's a hobby. So let's wait for this to dry, and then we'll finish ballasting the main line. Okay, this is basically all dry. It's not completely dry. It's still a little bit dark colored, but it's solid. It's not moving anywhere. So video's got to go up pretty quick. I need to get this finished ballasted. So now what we want to do is finish filling up the ballast, particularly the shoulders. For the rest of the main line, I just did the middle in between the ties in just one go, instead of doing it partially like I did here. Okay, now just level this off. And I have a little bit too much, so I need to sort of scooch most of it on the other side of the ties, or rails, I mean. There. Now that's all done, so pour some more ballast in our bowl. And just filling in between the ties there and try to get a nice, good angle. Okay, now, this is where foam brush really shines. Because the bevel on a foam brush is approximately the bevel that you will want for the ballast. So you just kind of scooch it, make it all nice and smooth. Move a little bit of ballast around. the aisle side, you're definitely going to want to put just a little bit more effort into it so that it looks good. Other side, not so much, because you're not as likely to see it. Just depends. What is your, if you're going to be making photographs of your layout, you're going to want to make sure you get any place where you would possibly want to do any railroad photography. Make sure it's good. There. Once again, smooth out the top. And just smooth it out on the sides. There. Now it looks really good. This is why, and I know a lot of people do not like ballasting. And I can kind of see why, because it's rather tedious, it takes a while. But, it really ain't half bad. You just take it step by step, take your time. And the best part about it is you can see it improves the scene immensely. Even though we're still got a lot of just dirt and plaster and stuff, we haven't got any greenery yet, which will make it look even better. But still, here we are, and we got some more color on here, some realistic color now. Right, so once again we're dousing it with the isopropyl alcohol so that when we put on the glue, then it seeps through everything and gets in amongst the first layer. And that's key. The reason why we really want a first layer is to create a toothy grit, sort of like sandpaper. So that way it is less likely to start crumbling eventually. See, that's the one major problem doing it in one go. Because you got a chance of the ballast crumbling eventually. It will be solid for a while if you glued it good. And it may still be solid. But your chances of it starting to crumble eventually will increase by doing it all in one go. And one thing about ballasting is, I can put on my audiobook and listen to the book while I'm just ballasting. Like I did last night after I turned the camera off. Just put a book on, you can listen to it. You can go through a lot of books. Especially if you got a real big layout, they got a lot of ballasting to do. Imagine all the books you can listen to, just ballasting the track. Okay, now it's time for the glue. Okay, that is done. So that is how you ballast main lines and spurs. Okay, so that's going to be it for today. It's really looking great on the main line. So this is going to be the end of the second part of the Ballasting Trilogy. Next time, for the third part, we'll get the best part of the most destructive part of ballasting, aka ballasting turnouts. The enemy of ballasters, pretty much, since that's where things can go wrong. So if you like this video, please feel free to leave a like or subscribe. If you do subscribe, make sure you hit the little bell icon so you can receive notifications when I release new content. So until next time, keep working on those model railroads, keep having fun, and until next time, keep your trains on the tracks.